Hi everybody and welcome back. On occasion I like a little special extra treat for myself, and I figured instead of keeping it to myself I would share it with you guys in case you were interested in making it. It's ice cream using a spice that you may or may not have used before. It's called cardamom, and it has a very unique flavor to it, so you may or may not like it. So you might want to test it, but trust me, it turns out really good in the ice cream. So if you just test it like this, you're not probably going to like it as much. But when you have it in the ice cream, it turns out amazing. If you don't like it, you can omit it. That's fine. But I'm going to use it because that's one of the key ingredients here. So we're going to use 3/4 of a teaspoon of cardamom. We're going to use about a teaspoon of regular vanilla extract. I'm going to use, let's see, about a teaspoon of vanilla, or if you have a vanilla bean and you want to scrape that out, that's perfect. Mine happened to dry out, so I'm gonna be using this. It is amazing. It's like someone did all the work for you. All the powdered stuff is right in there, ready to go. There's no other ingredients, just the vanilla bean scraped out. A dash of salt, 2 tablespoons of vegetable glycerin. Okay, now last time I made the recipe, I only used 2 teaspoons instead of tablespoons. This helps it set up so it's creamier when you scoop it. I was trying to avoid the extra sugars, but really this is basically like a sugar-free item. It doesn't really absorb, so it kind of goes through you like stevia does. But I just wanted to try it at the lower amount, and it turned out fine. But as it sat in the refrigerator, as it sat in the freezer, it did get a little harder, which is okay with me, but if you prefer, then do the 2 tablespoons of that. And this one is actually from palm, and they make different ones, so, you know, this one's a palm-derived vegetable glycerin, which is the better one that you want to get. And then, and actually someone sent that to me from my Amazon wish list, so thank you to that person. I really appreciate it. All that helps a lot. Okay, the next ingredient is a can of coconut milk, organic, everything organic, please. We don't want to be putting chemicals into our body when there's already so much in the air and everything else. I'm going to be trying the one from Whole Foods. I also like a few other ones, but I want to try the flavors independent to see which ones I like the best. It's also good to look for a BPA-free pan, or can, sorry. So, like it says right here, BPA free, that's one you want. And then we're going to be using 3/4 of a teaspoon of our natural stevia. And if you notice, they try to add some extra stuff in your stevia. Try to avoid those. You want one that's pure. So we're going to get started on that. We're going to get out some of our kitchen tools here. And all of this, okay, so all of this is going to go into one pan. Don't use this, use this. Because you want to be able to scrape off any of the cream that is on the inside of the pan, which there typically is, because the cream has all the fat in it. But we'll see if we get lucky this time. If not, we can get a finger taste of it. See if we like it. We'll just do this. This has a pretty decent flavor to it. That's important to me. Now, some of them also contain a thickener called guar gum, and this one does, but not all of them do, and that's fine. It's okay. So we're going to put the entire can in here. Alright, so we have our coconut milk in here. Not coconut cream, coconut milk. It's a combination of them. Then we're going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of our stevia. You can use whatever sweetener you want and as much as you like. That's just about perfect for me. And then let's do our vegetable glycerin. This is almost like working with corn syrup. So there's 1 tablespoon and 2 tablespoons. a dash of salt to bring out extra flavor. 3/4 of a teaspoon of our cardamom. And if you can find the seed, that's fine too. This is easier for me. You can add the vanilla now, or you can add the vanilla later when it's almost done cooking. I'm going to add it now because mine actually has alcohol in it, and when you cook vanilla with alcohol, it burns off the alcohol, which is what I want to do, so I'm going to put mine in now. Okay, a little bit of a mess. And then my pure vanilla powder. That's what it's called. And I'm just going to do about a half a teaspoon of that. Alright, now we're going to whisk this all together so it's nice and incorporated. Doesn't it look yummy? It smells yummy too. Then I'm going to stick this on the stove, and I'm going to bring it right below boiling. So you don't want to boil it, but you want to bring it right below boiling to a simmer. And then once you get it to that point, then you want to put the lid on, and you want to let it steep for about 30 minutes. And then we have these beautiful little containers by Tavolo. They're perfect for ice cream or yogurt or some extra berries that you have left over from, you know, eating them out of the bag or whatever. They're really perfect for freezing. So I have, it makes about 4 containers of these, which is to me a serving, or you can have half a serving, half a container, and then the other half another day or something like that. And then I have a bowl here that it's going to sit. Once I cook it, I'm going to put it in the bowl, and it's going to sit until it reaches about 40 degrees, which is about 4 hours. You can leave it overnight, that's fine too. I've done that before. We're going to put this little hairnet over the top while it's in there, and you're all set. Those are the things that you're going to need past the cooking stage. So let's get started on the cooking, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, as you can see, it's just starting to bubble up just a little bit right before boil. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to a simmer. Takes a second for the burner to cool off, so keep that off the bottom there for a sec. Okay, that was my timer. It took about 5 minutes on a medium-high heat to get to that stage. Now we're going to go ahead and put the lid on it. And we're going to set another timer for 30 minutes. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Okay, so we let it sit for 30 minutes on a simmer, and now we're going to take this out, pour it in our bowl, then I'm going to cover this with some wrap, and then you're going to stick it in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. Now, I do want to mention to you, before you get started, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. I'm sure you've worked with ice cream makers before. You're going to need the ice cream or a yogurt maker, and you're going to need to have your pot that it's in the freezer for at least 24 hours. Now, if you've worked with this stuff before, you already know that, so I'm just probably repeating myself, but I just wanted to remind you to make sure that that's in the freezer, and then it's been in there for at least 24 hours before you start making this. So we're going to let this sit, and then I'll see you when it's time to get the ice cream maker out and get it going. Hi everybody, and welcome back. Our mixture had been sitting, so now we're going to go ahead. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks a little bit thicker, that's all. We're going to go ahead and throw it in my little yogurt and ice cream maker here. It's going to churn for about 20 minutes, and you can pretty much tell when it's ready. I'll show you what it looks like. A lot of the cardamom will sit on the bottom of the bowl, so make sure you have a nice little spatula of some sort that you can scoop that out in there so you don't miss any of that goodness. Did I mention this ice cream is made with coconut milk? I mean, come on guys, that's amazing. Nice and creamy, delicious, nutritious. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. I'm going to get it started, and we'll be back to show you what it looks like. And make sure you have your little containers ready. There we go. Hi everybody. So our ice cream churned for 20 minutes. This is what it looks like. It's nice and set up really good. You can tell it looks like regular ice cream. It's nice and sticky like that. Look at it, perfect. When it's finished, the ice cream maker will start struggling, and that's when you know to turn it off, which mine did. So let's get our little containers here. We'll start filling them up. Super easy. I'll show you. Want to scrape all this off of here. You don't want to waste any of this. And I'll put that in there. And then I just keep my ice cream little churn thing here in the freezer always. So whenever I want to make some ice cream, it's already ready. You don't have to go, oh no, I made all this and then I forgot to stick it in the freezer, because it takes 24 hours to do that. So, all right. So that's good enough for now. We just take some of this, scoop it into our, and you can double the recipe. I just made 4 this time. If you double the recipe, you'll get 8, or you can get a bigger container, a bigger Tavola little canister container, and there you have it. Put the lid on, stick them in the freezer, and you're all good to go. So there is your beautiful ice cream that's delicious. And you know, I don't even feel guilty having this for breakfast, because it's just coconut milk with some spices in it and some sweetener that doesn't even register in our bodies. So our insulin response doesn't even have anything at all. So that's it. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram channel and my wish list if you want to help out, and I'll see you again. Thanks. Bye.